Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to another video. Welcome to the Bojoul channel. We are here. We are excited. We're moving into our self-care journey. This is the home of self-care, wellness, and every and anything that'll help you to become the greatest and most powerful version of you. Um, Today, I'm gonna talk about self care, of course, but I'm gonna come from an angle of deception. I think that all of our lives, we have read stories, we've watched movies, we have um, inexhaustibly been engaged in these ideas of falling in love, right? Whether it's Valentine's Day, whether it is Christmas, whether it is, it's like, it's always the time to fall in love. Look for someone to fall in love with. Look for someone to fall in love with. And even as the children, I remember as a child being read stories with these happily ever ending stories, Cinderella, and like just so many different stories where you end up with the person of your dreams. And I think psychologically these ideals are kind of downloaded in us, and this is what we believe and we expect to be our ultimate end. But it's interesting that even as a child, I never remember being read a story about the importance of loving yourself. And I can only imagine the difference or the different turns that my life may have taken if I had been inundated with those type of material to teach me and show me the idea of falling in love with me. So today I just want to I kind of want to demystify some of that and kind of discuss just some different ways that you can fall in love with yourself, because I think I always think about Whitney Houston's song, The Greatest Love of All, right? And as popular as that song was, and the world celebrated that song so much, I don't know if we really got it, because loving yourself really is that greatest love. You cannot ever regret loving you. But unfortunately, we're not shown that and we're not taught that. Imagine if kids were in class like kindergarten, even kindergarten, first grade, pre-K, and you're reading different storybooks about loving yourself, teaching them from a very young age how boundary setting and how caring for themselves is a very, very powerful act of love towards themselves, and getting them comfortable even with the idea that loving themselves is a good thing. I can't even imagine that. And I personally, I have a youth organization, and that's one of my missions, is to kind of infuse that narrative in anything that we discuss, loving yourself and prioritizing yourself. And today I just want to discuss a few things that I feel like would help us to kind of redefine or reimagine that idea of what loving ourselves look like. Because it's easy to say love yourself, but I just want to give you some introductory ways that you could begin to love yourself, because that's what this journey is all about, this self-care journey. Why would you even care for yourself if you don't have that love to even do so? So I got a few things that I wrote down about loving yourself. One, I'm going to give you maybe five or six. I'll give you 5 or 6 ways that you can show how to fall in love with yourself. One way, the first way, and I always start my discussions on self-love with this, is about practicing self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kind of kindness and understanding, learning how to be gentle with yourself. I am a psychology major, and one of the things that I've learned is that depending on how or what kind of worldview you have, we have a tendency to punish ourselves if we feel like we haven't met or measured up to a certain standard that we've created. And it happens like unknowingly, like without even trying to think about it. It's like we'll punish ourselves. We may do certain things to compensate for our lack of being able to meet some type of goal or measurement. But how about we spin that narrative, right? How about we spin the narrative and we begin to practice self-compassion? When certain things do not line up, or when we don't meet a mark, or maybe something did not, add up the way we wanted to or end up the way we wanted it to, that we can practice self-compassion and tell ourselves that it's going to be okay. The same way you would do a friend. You know how you look at your friend and you're like, yo, it's okay. You got tomorrow. You start again. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Like, just breathe easy. Take it slow. How about doing that to yourself? How about doing that to yourself? Wouldn't that be amazing to literally have a type of compassion that even when you are not where you want to be, or when you have not met the mark or goals that you have set, that you still have this gentleness towards yourself, like a nurturing of some sort. That's how you begin, to start to have that love. That's one of the ways you can start to have a love for yourself, start to kind of fall in love with you. Treat you with kindness and lots and lots of compassion. The next thing is, and this is the whole point of our channel, is to invest in self-care. Invest. Put your resources, your time, your energy in your self-care, whether it's exercising, eating healthy meals, meal preparation. I love prepping my meals. I put love in prepping my meals. You know what I mean? Because I understand that when I'm prepping my meals, I'm prioritizing myself, and I'm putting love and thought into the value that these meals will offer my body. It's deep. It gets deep. Investing in self-care is a decision that you make, that every single day I am going to make a deposit. Because that's what investing is, right? Investing is about every day depositing something into that system or whatever it is. As it pertains to self-care, it can be making sure you get enough sleep. It can be taking that long bath that maybe the week have not allotted for, but you're taking it anyway. Invest in your self-care practice. Rewrite your self-care practice. Redefine it. Make some changes in it, but stay there. Stay there. When you invest in your self-care, you are slowly entering that realm of loving you. Even finding out, when you invest in your self-care, you even start to discover different things that you like and don't like. What I want to eat, what I don't want to eat, the times that I want to eat, different activities that I enjoy that brings me happiness, that make me feel full and satisfied. That type of investment, again, helps you to walk into this realm or enter into this door of what loving you looks like. Because what happened, we become such professionals at doing it for other people. We know what everybody else like. We know what they want. And we can do it with perfection to the T. But when it comes to us, we struggle because we haven't taken the time to even find out what it is that we want or like. And so that's a part of what falling in love with yourself may look like. Um, Next thing I put down here for loving yourself is discovering your passions. Taking the time to discover, again, and I think I just alluded to that, what you love. What are your passions? What fills your heart with so much joy? Whether you're being paid for it or not, you enjoy doing whatever that thing is. These are the things that help you to start to get on that journey of loving yourself. I know that the idea of falling in love with yourself is foreign to a lot of us. But I want to normalize the conversation. I really do. I want to normalize that conversation on this station, on this Bojoul channel, that loving yourself is what it's supposed to look like. It will no longer be the anomaly, that outlier, that like, wow, she's talking about loving herself. No, it's supposed to be like that. That's supposed to be, let's make that the new normal. Let's make loving yourself the new normal. I want to know what I am passionate about. When you're passionate about something, I was telling someone this the other day, one of the most important things about any endeavor that you undertake is that you are passionate about it. Because when you're passionate about something, no matter whether you're having a good day or bad day, whether you're feeling up or you're feeling down, you will pursue that thing. The passion will fuel you. It is the truth. Your passion will fuel you when you are, your mind is so far removed, but the passion will fuel you through every challenge and obstacle. And if we're being real and we're being honest with ourselves, obstacles and difficulties are always mixed in with your success. It's never straight road success, boom. Don't work like that. All of this stuff is weaved and merged in. That's why people always say, embrace the process. Because in that process, it's not all straight up. Even people who have become billionaires in the stock market, it's never been straight up. It's always a up and down, ebb and flow. Always. Our life is very, very similar. But if we could just ride the wave, we can get there. And finding your passion is one of the greatest ways to enter into that new realm of love for yourself. Next, the next thing I wrote down is cultivating self-awareness. And that is powerful. When you cultivate self-awareness, you are now tapping in and double downing on what I enjoy, what I need. You become so self-aware that certain realms of energy, I want to say, or what's a better word? Like certain realms of influence, you're not even going to enter. You know in that area that I'm not comfortable. You become so self-aware that I'm not even going to go there. When you're younger or when you're less experienced, because sometimes you could be older and still less experienced at certain things. So it's not necessarily age. But I know that when you're less experienced, certain things have to happen before you learn that, no, that's not for me. But when you become self-aware, you could kind of sift that thing out from afar. Like, I don't think so. That's not for me. When I was younger, I had a very hard time making friends. Me and my sister and I, she was very much a people person. And I remember my mom and my father, we would play. This is the time when you played outside. When you play, you don't play on devices. You played outside. You could send you outside. And we would go outside and we would be in the park, and I would just go and sit on the swing somewhere and play by myself. And my sister always had this knack for, getting friends and getting people to come around her and have conversations. And she knew how to, she had this inviting personality. I didn't have that. I didn't know what that was like. But because she's my sister, it made it easier for me to come and make friends because she already kind of opened the door. And anyway, I say that to say that I always had a problem ascertaining what was good and not good for me. But as you get more experience, you can kind of see these things from afar, and you can look at this point in life, at a certain point in your life, you could kind of look at people. You can hear people's conversations. You can ascertain certain things about them that I know that that's not for me. Not necessarily in a bad way. Not like they're a bad person, but it's not for me. Because I'm self-aware. I know me. They may be great over there, but not for me. And when you become self-aware, you have no problem saying no to situations. And that leads me into my next point of how we are falling in love with yourself and what that may look like is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is not about always keeping other people out, but it's keeping you in to your goals and your values, locking you in to your goals, your values that you have set for yourself. A boundary is a boundary. It's a line that you draw in the sand, so to speak. In your life, I will not do this. This I will do, but this I draw the line in the sand. And those boundaries are a great introduction to what loving yourself look like, because I need boundaries to protect me. Whenever you see someone build a great, beautiful home, or building or some type of wonderful edifice, something that's so grandiose, they always build some type of security system, whether it's in front of it, around it, or built within it, because you protect that which is valuable. And if people go through those measures to protect their physical assets, buildings, materials, how much more so should we do for our own life, our own well-being? Those are some things that boundary setting is saying, I love me so much that I'm going to build a system of security. Not to make myself appear like I'm better than you, or it has nothing to do with that. It's not even about anybody else. It's that I value myself so much that I'm going to take the time to build systems and boundaries in my life. And everybody's may look different. You know who you are. And if you don't, this is the time that you discover. I know in my life, one of the most important things in my life is my relationship with God. That's me. It is. And I draw a line in the sand. People in my life that's in my inner circle, I have lots and lots of associates. But for my inner circle, there's a boundary that those who are in my inner circle also have to align with their values with God also to even be in my inner circle. Because if you're in my inner circle, you have to be able to understand the language and how I talk and how I think. And that inner circle is sacred. So my boundary is that. And here's the thing. My boundary is not for other people. My boundary is for me. Because my walk with God is one of the most sacred things that I have in my life. You know? Another thing, my family, sacred to me. Very much sacred. I have to know you. I have to know what you're about. I have to have spent time with you to even bring you around my family. That's a boundary. I got several boundaries. But those boundaries are yours to create And that is a visual of what it's looking like to fall in love with you. You can never regret falling in love with yourself. Never. I have never heard a person regret going to work out and exercise or eat a healthy meal. I've never heard a person regret it. I've never. Maybe they was tired. Maybe they didn't feel like doing it, but I've never heard them regret it. So let me recap. How do we begin falling in love with ourselves? 1 is we're practicing self-compassion. 2, we're going to invest in our self-care. 3, we're going to discover our passions. 4, we're going to make sure that we set boundaries. And 5, we're going to cultivate a self-awareness. We will cultivate self-awareness. I appreciate you guys for listening today. I'm so excited and I'm so moved this morning. As I speak to you, I promise all of those words come back to me and I'm able to move and start my day or continue my day with just that in my heart. It's what you carry. It's how you see the world. It's how you decide how you see the world. You create your own worldview or recreate your own worldview if the one you have is not working for you. Thank you for listening. This is the Bojoul channel, home of self-care, wellness, every and anything that will help you to become the greatest and most powerful version of you. And remember that self-care is the best care. Later.